What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Just a little topic I want to go ahead and touch on tonight, but it's brought to my attention. It's a big issue. It's a big problem. It's a thing so many traders, especially new traders, have a hard time overcoming. Um, and I understand there. I've been there before. It's a bad thing to ever have happened to you, for say, but it's a thing that you obviously have to overcome, obviously know what you're doing, and be able to fully understand. But that is bag holding. Okay, there's so many traders that come in that are holding 20, 30, sometimes 50 or more trades in their account. And they once had a balance of, $10,000, $15,000, or whatever it may be. And now they're left with like $1,100, as far as cash that they're flipping on the side, or even as low as $500, or hell, there's some as low as $50. But it's a sad situation to be in. I mean, like I said, I've been there before. We all started out at one point where we believed all the Twitter hype that goes on with a lot of these plays. But there's nothing wrong with Twitter hype. I mean, if traders are excited about their play, they want to go ahead and spread some information out there, give that awareness to different traders that are following them. There's nothing wrong with showing some interest that you share in a similar stock. So, with that being said, in this situation, I want to kind of cover over some things about bag holding. It's a problem to not have to do it, but just think about it. Okay, you've got an account that's literally negative. Okay, it's red. Every single stock you're holding in the thing is red. You chased every single one of those for some reason or another, or you entered the price that you did for some reason or another, and you never sold. Okay, you never sold the position because, well, why? You've got to ask yourself why. Is it just because you were promised, according to some tweet or some chat room or some aspect that just led you to want to hold the play forever at the sense? And it's like, well, what do I do with the play? Well, it's obviously you didn't have a plan for the play. You didn't have a structured plan when you went into that trade, literally by having no risk assessment, as far as you don't want to be down this so much percent or this so many dollars on the play. And maybe you were up on the play. It's kind of funny. I've done some surveys on Twitter to where people say that they were up thousands of percent, or multiple hundreds of percent on a play, and never took profits, and actually ended up selling for a loss. So got to take some profits, guys. I mean, I'm not saying flip a play. I'm saying hold the play to as long as you can possibly understand that this play has reached its peak. Every play has a peak, guys. It's not the moon. It's not $300. I'm sorry. It's just not that high. So I would just kind of want to cover some things, and maybe I can help somebody out there during this lesson to kind of relay that, it's not the end of the road for you guys that are holding a bunch of bags, but there's something you gotta realize and be able to overcome in order to achieve consistent trading after that. Okay, what do you do with the money? Do you want to just buy another play and let the same old habit occur with another bag in the position? Obviously not. But anyway, you've heard this before. Okay, it's not a loss until you sell. I'll sell when it starts going back up. This is a great company. I'm in it for the long haul. It's cheap at these prices. I'll just buy more down here. I'm going to be so rich whenever this goes up. If this sounds like you, you're bag holding. Okay, yes, it is. You're down 5,000, 10,000, or whatever it may be on a play, but that's not it. Yes, you're negative that, but where in your right mind do you think, if you've been holding this for months and months and months, that you're ever gonna bring that loss or that red back to green again? It's a sad situation when you're living on hope that this play is going to just break even one day. You're like, oh man, I don't know why I'm still holding this play. Just one day I want to at least just break even. I mean, that's a bad situation to be in. That's why 95% or more of traders fail. Okay, they fail. They don't be able to make it. They blow up their account. They've got massive bags, and they don't know what they're doing as far as buying and selling these trades for a profit. Okay, just think about it as compounding interest. You're buying something to make money on it. If let's just say a clothing store was buying a bunch of clothing at retail to sell it for wholesale, what do you think they're going to be holding? They're going to go out of business really quickly. And the same goes to your trading account. You're not wanting to buy retail prices on a stock in order to sell it for wholesale prices later down the road, or just hang on to it and hope to ever recover it back at the price that you paid for it. It comes to the aspect of, well, it's no longer brand new now, and I can't get brand new prices that I paid for this thing brand new, and I'm trying to sell it for more than brand new prices when everything else is going cheaper. So the idea with stock trading is you want to buy those cheap deals. You want to be wholesale, buying some wholesale deals and selling them for a retail profit and make the difference. Okay, that's just the way trading works, as far as to be consistent and be able to how to know those patterns, be able to know how to understand the markets fully with catalysts, with different tweeting aspects out there. Everybody's in this game to make money. They're not in it to lose it. But if you're in this game losing money, in this game bag holding plays, then something's got to change, okay? And it's not a loss until you sell mentality is not going to make it for you, okay? Yes, it's a loss no matter what you're selling or not. It's unrealized gains or unrealized losses, yes, but you're not getting that money back just by sitting on it, okay? It just doesn't work. No one likes to admit that we're wrong about an idea, okay? We sometimes get wrong on a trade, but people become prideful and will often defend our beliefs even when there's a substantial evidence that we're wrong about an idea or trade idea. Now, as a bag holder, is someone is holding one or multiple losing positions in the stock and hasn't sold. In trading, pride and stubbornness are two very costly traits, okay? You cannot have pride. You cannot be stubborn in this market, okay? The market will do whatever it wants to do, and there's nothing any of us or people or groups or whatever can do to stop it, per se. Yes, there will be a lot of massive efforts, but at one point, there's also going to come to an end of that play or that run or that pump, as you will. Now, for this reason, you always need to have an exit strategy, okay? Because sometimes we're wrong on these plays. You got to be able to know how to take those losses, and the quicker you kill those losses, the easier it is to make more profit on the next trade, okay? When we're just holding bags of massive losses and they grow and they get 10% loss, 15, 20, 30, 40, 80, and 90% losses, that's, I got to look for a 500 and 1,000% gainer and expect to try to make it all back in one play. No, you can't do that. You cannot, after you've made all those losses on those plays, you cannot expect to get in one play and make all that money back on one play. Okay, they're home runs in the OTC. They do happen occasionally, but it's not something that you're constantly looking. Okay, we don't know when a play becomes a home run, but we got to be able to trade it day by day, support to resistance, floor to ceiling, and so on, and understand how that trade is going to continue rolling onto the next days and weeks and months or whatever that may lead up to the play's full potential. Now, in that sense, you've got to not just buy the top, chase a play on FOMO. You're buying it at a retail price, just like I've showed you. Yes, somebody has to buy those shares, but who are the wiser? It's a bad situation. You want to be in early, and plays don't, you're not going to make your money that way. Now, holding these big losing positions, okay, we got to overcome that pride, that stubbornness. They're two very costly traits. Now, to be a professional trader, you have to get used to being wrong often, okay? It's not uncommon to be wrong on a trade. No one can win on every single trade. For this reason, you always need to have an exit strategy. If a stock goes against you, taking small losses is part of the profession. If you're a bag holder, you will never be able to make a living trading stocks. There's just no way to it. Now, holding a big losing position, okay, if you're currently own any stocks where you're down 50, 30% or whatever on your position for multiple months, you're bag holding those plays. There's no reason to ever be down this much on an investment, okay? It's just the most common reasons why people end up holding big losing positions that they don't have an exit strategy. You freeze up because you didn't make an exit strategy. You didn't cut the loss when it was small and manageable. Like I was telling, if it becomes a small loss, what's to say it can't become a bigger loss? If you're questioning the play, then most times it's best to just get out before you're go back to that thinking mentality. Well, I just hope this play goes back up and I just break even or I make profits. And you go to Twitter and message boards and chat rooms and ask questions. When do you think this play is going to pop? When do you think this play is going to run? What do you think about my stock? I'm hoping, I'm just so high up on this hopium that, I want to see this play go up. I'm hoping that it goes up, and it never does. What's happening? Why are people not talking about my play anymore? Are you guys holding this play? And when did you enter your play? And are you playing my play? Here's a DD that I found on this play, and this should make it run. It's everybody wants to have an opinion on their play, and if you're going around asking questions, needing opinions on your plays, then you've obviously got some doubts. You've obviously got some questions in your mind, and most likely you're red on the play. Now, like I said, that's not a thing that we all haven't been through before. Okay, it's something that does happen, especially as new traders. We need to ask questions on certain aspects and so on. Now, turning those short-term trades into investments is a bad thing. Okay, you used to do this all the time when I was a new trader. I would turn a day trade into a swing trade because I didn't want to take the loss on the day trade. Okay, like you got 3 trades in your PDT rule in your small account, and you didn't want to waste a day trade by selling out and killing the loss quickly. You'd rather just hold on to it and thinking it's going to be a winner. Just because you saved your account from executing a day trade does not mean that trade is a winner. Okay, it doesn't mean nothing about how that trade is going to be. And to the next day, it could drop a reverse split, or some massive bad problems, or an AS raise, or some bad filing overnight, and you had those doubts in the back of your mind when you're holding the trade, and you're sleeping there at night thinking about the next day. So why am I still holding the play? Well, I was trying to save a day trade. I'm limited to 3 trades per 5-day period, and I was just trying to save this day trade. So, I wouldn't, waste a day trade and, find a big play tomorrow because I'm on my last day trade or something, and I don't want to cut that loss. Well, that loss could have saved you, thousands or hundreds or whatever dollars it made, because you've decided to make this day trade or this short-term trade into a long-term investment, so to speak. Okay. Now you used to do this. You used to do this all the time when it was a new trade, but you turn that into a swing trade because I don't want to take a loss on that day trade. Also, let's say people start turning those losing trades into multi-year holds. Yes, some people will hold these bags for years. Okay. The story usually goes something like this. You find a random small cap stock, okay, whatever it is here in the OTC you're playing, marijuana, CBD, gold, oil, or, Bitcoin, so to speak. And you saw someone pumping it on Twitter, okay? They're constantly nonstop posting all this information, and you do a little research, and everyone on this stock, okay, on Twitter or on iHub or something is saying it's the next Amazon. They're saying it's the next big blah 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 play that's just going to bring everybody a bunch of wealth and such massive gains, and you're just an idiot if you sell it. So you go into all these Twitter rooms, you go into all these Discord rooms, and ask the same questions, and you pretty much collaborate with the people that are groped around marrying this play, so to speak. Okay. Like I said, I've been there. I've done that. I've known what it was like to be in some of these Twitter rooms. It's a comforting feeling knowing that everybody's on the same page of holding this play. Pretty much is kind of where people want to be comfortable in their trade. And the trade may go red the next day. The trade may go red further the next day, and further and down. And just an example here with SMIL, okay? Just a demonstration, nothing against SMIL per se, but I made some good money on this play, okay? From way down here to as high as 7 and 8 cents a share, okay? This thing was a massive runner from 0050s, it looks like right here. Had a support there, and it hit these resistance pots at 4, 7, and whatever. Now, that was a massive runner, okay? Massive runner. But you know how many people that I knew was in this play for life? They thought this was going to bring them all kinds of growth and prosperity, and it's just going to be the greatest thing in the world. Well, there's a little small thing called dilution. There's a little thing also called you can't trust the CEO in OTC. There's also some other things that maybe somebody was not so clear on their tweets or relaying the message or saying it all falls back on us as traders. Okay, there's no one to blame for our bags but ourselves. Okay, there you can't just literally just blame the CEO on your problems for not trading the trade properly. You can't blame the Twitter guy for pumping the freaking moon out of it. You can't blame people for doing that except yourself. Okay, you're the little sheep bagging all the way to what to Moonland, hopefully, and the company's dumping shares. They're selling shares to you as retailers are buying it up, and this float just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you don't know what float is literally the public shares that a stock has to trade. And the more shares they keep feeding to the market, the bigger the float goes, thus diluting the price per share on a stock. Okay, it just makes it fall. There's no fighting it. So in a sense, SMIL in this terms, I believe it was about a 24 mil float that started it right here, 005s, and landed all the way up here to 84s. Okay, 24 mil float is great. It's not a bad float size. I know many stocks that run this kind of numbers on a 24 mil float, or even 50 mil, where you got half that or so on. But in this sense, what the share structure is on this play now? I want to say it's around, I think it's around 2 billion. Okay, it's massive. Okay, this play is literally, yes, I'm right. It's around 2 million here. Okay, I'm gonna delete these drawings, but it's got this massive share structure. They raised the AS, they raised the OS by diluting all those shares in there. It's no longer 24 mil float. It's a 2.1 billion share float sitting on no bids. There's literally zero people interested in the stock, but yet people bag hold a play to the point because they believe that hype, they believe that story, and yet there's all that destruction, terror, and whatever you may come down to bring it down to literally nada. Okay, just bad problems altogether. But what happened to it? Every OTC stock I know always comes back to the very bottom. Okay, guys, they always come back to the very bottom. It may take months, it may take just a matter of days, it may take a couple hours sometimes. It may take years sometimes for these plays to actually come to the bottom. Like it's very rare you find a company in the OTC that will literally take a stock to new heights or so on, every day or every month or every year or whatever, and continually grow the pattern. So many of them do this massive run from all the hope and dreamers up here to nothing but a sideways action from wherever it decides to finally settle at. Okay. I'm all for making as much money as you possibly can in a stock, but you got to understand how to determine the top, how to determine the bottoms, know when to scale out, get on some free shares, pull your initial investment out, let those free shares ride. And it's a little bit easier to understand instead of bag holding the play. You've got to have more of a structure, more of a trading plan involved to fully understand this. Now, you buy some shares immediately. Let's say you go up 30% on your position, and you've convinced you are a genius. This is heading to the moon. I'm green on this play. I finally found the play that's going to turn my account around. I'm finally going to be able to quit my whatever job I'm doing and be a successful day trader. I've literally just crushed the market here. I bought this play. I'm up 30% already. I'm looking good. And you don't take any profits. Okay, this play's running. Okay, this play is just making some massive moves up here, and it's running. Okay, and you're not taking any profits. You're not taking your initial investment out. Yes, you're up multiple hundreds of percents, and you think will go up that much every single day. You're just determined. Okay, these guys are pumping it on Twitter. It's making it look good. They're pulling all the DD out, and you're in these chat rooms. Everybody's psyched. Everybody's pumped. Okay, the next day reverses and you're back to break even. Now, how uncommon is that? It's not that uncommon. You get in a good pump and it comes back all the way down to where you break even. Okay, the next day reverse and you're back to the break even. You tell yourself it's going to go back up. Let's say a week later, you're down 40% on your position now. Next thing you know, you find yourself sitting on all the quarterly conference calls. You're praying they release some news any day now, just praying that this company comes through and claims what all the DD pumpers were saying on Twitter, just praying all this stuff comes to light, and yet you just keep dropping on the position that you're playing, all because you chased up here, feeding into that frenzy of Kool-Aid drinking, so to speak. Now, like I said, don't take any harm from this video, guys. Okay. Like I said, we've all been there. This is not a bad thing. It's not an embarrassment, so to speak. We all got something we got to overcome. Okay. And I want to help you guys here in 2020 to be able to understand, these bag holding positions is not the end of the road. Okay. It's not the end of the road to play new plays for 2020. It's not the end of the road for your account to grow. But the best solution you've got to say to yourself is, start creating a plan around those bags. Start figuring out, well, I don't think there's any future for these plays. I could do this last minute, a little bit of, research on it, but I'm not going to really believe into the research. And I'm going to try to sell each and every bag one at a time. Okay. Let's say you're down $20,000 in loss. Yes, it hurts. It hurts to be down, but you've got, let's just say $3,000 or so worth of capital in the plays that you are holding as far as being red on those plays, but there's about $3,000 you could pull out of those plays if you sold each one of those one at a time at the best possible price you can. Okay. I'm not saying go the next morning and dump everything on the bid. Okay. Sit your sales on the ask. Put a limit order. They're going to sell these at the ask one at a time. Put it 60 days, good till cancel. There's going to be someone that's going to hit the ask, and I'm going to get out of that position. Okay, it takes time to get through bags, especially if you've got a ton of them to get through those bags. But as you free up capital, it's like losing that bad friend that you need to get rid of in your life anyway. Okay, if you wake up every morning, you're looking at your account and it's nothing but red every single day, and you've got all these plays that are like a bunch of leeches roaching the fucking money out of your account every day. It's not a healthy thing to wake up in the morning and look at every day. Okay. It's just not. You want to have a fresh account. It's got good money in there. It's got ready to go. Anything can be turned to profits. Okay. It can always be turned to profits. It's not the end of the road. Like I'm saying, I've got classes on, how to get in these plays properly, understanding the scaling out process, understanding how the news and the Twitter and the pumps and the DD and all that stuff plays into how these plays operate. Okay. It's understanding the narrative, the storyline, so to speak. It's not all legit. Surprise, shocker, but it's not all legit. So you've got to be able to understand it. It's all about helping the momentum of the play, be able to play it to the fullest, make your money, and move to the next one. Okay. Now, defending your losing position. Yes, many people do come in here. They defend their losing positions, okay? And it goes back to like being too cocky or too, passionate about your play. Just because you're holding it does not mean it's a great play, okay? You're not the genius that you thought you were by buying it and going up and then holding it down. Now, bag holders care more often about being right than making money. And that's the sad part of trading. You cannot always be about yourself being right than making money. If you're always the guy on Twitter or iHub or whatever, proving to the bashers you're always right, are you the one making money? Probably not. Okay. You've got to humble yourself. The markets will humble you. I promise you, to the point to where, some people are crying about their positions, and it's sad. Like I said, I've been there before. I've blown up accounts. I've bagged hold plays. I've married them. And I've understand that I didn't make money until I started changing some habits. I started changing those habits and understanding these plays don't care about my feelings. These plays don't care if I want to land on the moon. These plays don't care what kind of price target I have in mind for it. Yes, I want to sell all my shares at $1, at $5, $20, $50, or whatever. Oh, wow. It shows that I bought $1,000 worth of shares here. And if I sell my 1,000,000 shares at $1, I'm going to be a fucking millionaire. Wow. I'm not selling a single share until I'm at $1. I'm sorry, but the stock doesn't look at you and say, hey, bro, I'm going to make your dreams come true. I'm going to make it happen. You don't sell a single share until we hit $1. And all the pump rooms are going to tell you the same thing. We want you to slap the ask. We want you to invest your entire portfolio into this one play. There's nothing that could go wrong except $1 million, except it going to $1. It's just going to blah, blah, blah land. You got to realize those price targets are out the fucking window. We don't know. Even myself, I never know how far a play will go. Okay. Like I said, we have to play them one day at a time and understand the true potential of how the play unfolds. Okay. You play a play one day at a time. And what better way to, like I said, when the play runs up 100%, take your initial investment out of it and let the rest of the shares ride free. Okay. Let's say you invested $2,000 in a play, it runs up 100%. Now you've got 4,000 on that play. Pull those $2,000 out. That was your initial investment. Let the $2,000 worth of shares ride free and be able to manage that also with a good risk and potential targets that you want to, scale out as the thing continues running. Now, there is no one medicine fix all kind of play. There's just not that doesn't happen. Okay. Like I said, it's so rare to have these plays run to dollars and so on. It's not common. So when you get into a new play, you got to understand it. Yes, you got 50 bags in your account and you had a dream and a hope on every single one of them. And have those hopes and those dreams ever came a reality on any of them? No. Well, did some of them give you good profit? Did some of them give you good potential? Yes. A few of these I got and really did pay well, but I just didn't take profits. Well, why didn't you take profits? Well, I was believing the guy on Twitter. He was claiming a price target of $300, and I was certain it was going to make it. Well, did it ever get to $1? No, it never got to $1. Did it get to 50 cents? No, it didn't get to 50 cents either. Well, did it get to 10 cents? Yeah, it got to 10 cents. Well, where's it at right now? Well, it's like just below a penny. So you're telling me it went to 10 cents. You didn't take your profits because you were hoping, you were back to that hopium, hoping it was going to go to $1 or whatever it may be. All because such and such on Twitter claimed it was. When people come into the chat room, ask me those questions, it's not a bad thing. Us as new traders, we're naive to it. Okay. We're just naive to want to believe that hype, believe the BS really, because, we think that such and such knows what he's talking about when he says it's going to go to blah, blah, blah land. No, that's all predictions. That's all speculation. There's no truth. There's no realism to that fact. I hate to break it to you, but that's just the way it goes. Now, even if you really believe in a company's fundamentals, it does not mean you should buy shares of the stock, okay? There's more to make money in the stock market than just buying companies with good fundamentals, okay? Well, the DD, have you checked the DD? Well, I'm sorry, but DD is not news, okay? Due diligence is not news. All that is bluffy, fluffy, convincing material to make people want to play the play. People want a reason of why they're buying the play. And it's kind of as sad as it is, price targets sometimes give people a reason or comparison, okay? This stock is going to be the next blah, blah, blah stock because this stock ran to Kingdom Come or whatever, and it was the one home runner that is the latest home runner play. This new play, you guys got to get in because it's literally just like that play. They're in the same sector. The share structure is not the same, but I'm not going to tell you that. I'm only going to tell you what makes it sound good. Okay. It's knowing timing, knowing when to buy and sell at the right times. Don't be a bag holder holding those losing positions just because you're stubborn and are afraid to take the loss. Okay. Take your money out, cash that money. There's still value in a bag. There is. So pull that money out, get a fresh start, get a clear mind, understand where you're going wrong, understand where you need to improve on, understand where you need to start trading and investing properly on, okay? If you're currently into these three, don't panic, okay? We all get in sticky situations on some of these trades where they may have crashed or you didn't exit properly and you entered all wrong. It's kind of funny. I started really getting profitable with my trades in OTC all because of my entry, okay? I was watching the markets. I was watching how people reacted to plays. I was watching how different catalysts came into play. But the moment I started just being a cheap ass, trying to bid sit on some plays and finally filling some orders, it's like sharing the wealth, okay? Just buying cheap shares from a selling play and transfer of wealth. If you're in a panic, you're in a mess here, I'm going to dump out. Well, I think there's a bounce coming, okay? Off of my past experience, knowing how these trades work, you can become to understand that. Now, risk management is your best friend as a trader, okay? So make sure you use it every time you make a trade, Okay, you've got to have that risk management and that trade plan. If you don't, then your rules and your trading style gets thrown out the window, and you don't know why you're still back holding a play that you did not need to be back holding. Now, why do so many guys back hold? I hear so many horror stories of people holding onto double-digit percent losses. It's depressing. When you're losing money, the single best thing you can do is cut your losses. Why is it that nobody has this ability? Risk management is literally what sets apart successful traders from the losers. Just close out losing positions, and I guarantee you will get better. Okay, there's 1,000 other stocks out there to trade on a daily basis. It's not worth waiting around hoping that whatever you bought will come back. Stop going to iHub or Twitter for someone to tell you what you want to hear. Okay, just because you want to hear it doesn't mean they're right and you're right. Okay, yes, we can cherry pick what conversations we like that make our trade look the best, whatever. Don't trade it like that. Don't trade it off of what people say. Now, that the stock will come back to you, and it's going to be going to the moon, okay? Quit being so gullible. They're penny stocks for a reason. You're not buying the next Microsoft. You're buying shitty, failing companies that in a likelihood are mostly, 90-something plus percent scams. You should trade them like they're a scam, okay? Trade them to wherever you think the story or the narrative will carry it, then get the hell out of there, okay? Now, only if you lose money. Now, you only lose money if you sell, right? No, I never sell my penny stocks. I do my due diligence. I pick clear winners. If my stock goes down, it's obvious because the shorts are trying to keep it down. Some guy on Twitter said that with such conviction, it's hard to imagine he was lying. That's okay, because us investors knows it goes back up. They have PRs coming out weekly. My stock is the only real company. Plus, stock is such a low float, so it's bound to skyrocket if it doesn't get unlisted soon, right? Don't believe me? If you take a look at the chart, you'll see just a year ago, it was up 3,000%. You just go up to a year ago and look at SMIL. Holy cow. This thing was 16 cents and 30 cents and blah, blah, blah. And you got to realize stock splits will change a lot of things as far as charts. Nothing is accurate for the most part past a year, sometimes past 2 years or 3 years or so on. But you can't think of that. It was up 3,000%. So I'm at a low. It doesn't matter where I chase it at. Yeah, it was at 30 cents. I'll buy it at 7 cents and 5 cents and so on. Now, once the shorts give up, it's going to go right back up. But for now, I'll just keep loading the boat. The quickest way to snuff out the amateurs are those that post page-long DD reports, okay? Detailing why the stock is supposed to go up over X amount of time. It's a penny stock. If there is a big move, I can guarantee you that it won't last for more than a few days, okay? Now, some called value investors get slaughtered when short sellers start throwing up these huge fake offers, scaring off buyers. All the idiots end up on iHub. It's dumb leading the blind. If you're losing money, just sell and move on. When I see that a stock is in play because it has been releasing a slew of PRs, it's gaining huge volume, and it's finally up 10% on the day. I don't have the time to go write up a full DD report on it. You can just pick a stock to trade because you feel like it's a good company. You've done 4 hours of research. It has to be in play. It doesn't matter how great you may think a penny stock is. If nobody else is buying it, it's not in play. Okay, it takes money to make these plays move. And no one cares about you. Okay, no amount of DD means you should bag hold a losing position. And some of these plays, it's sad to say, some people will hold on for many, many years, and they still go back and look at that DD report and blah, blah, blah. If no one's buying it, it's not in play. So don't be that bag holder, guys. Take your money out, be able to reinvest in plays that are in play, learn how to manage it properly, use risk assessment, and be that profitable profit taker and money maker for 2020. Okay, guys? That's all I got for you guys tonight. Feel free to subscribe, like for more videos. I'm going to be posting a lot more of these this year. But I've also got a class coming up in February, February 3rd, I believe. It's a 3-month course. Highly recommend you guys go check it out. I've got actually a couple full-time traders from this course, from this last session or last couple sessions that we've done at the end of 2019. To where I'm literally turning guys from making, small money and losing trades and bag holding and so on like this to actually becoming profitable traders. Because you know why? They know how to trade the stock. They know how to understand the narrative of the trade. They know how to take the profits when they need to. They know how to enter the trade and know how to look for new trades. So if you guys are interested in it, feel free to hit up the link. I'll post it in the description down below. But like I said, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm going to be pushing more out there on this. If you guys have any questions, I try to be as available as I can to people with questions. As far as especially a lot of novice traders that want to just answer a question. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter, send me a message, maybe in our chat room or so. But anyway, there's a free invite to our chat room as well. I'm going to post in the description below as well. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoy your rest of your day, and you guys have a great night. Thank you.